Two, three, and we are live. Welcome to Conversations with Sheri and TerryAnn. I am TerryAnn, life coach TA. I help women overcome the lies of negative self talk by changing their perspective to find new possibilities, leading to pathways onto which they can proceed. And my co host is Sheri.
Good morning. I'm Sheri Berger, and I am the owner of Here to There Consulting, and we educate business owners with the tools to balance life, business, and finance, because it's so important to have all that balanced as business owners and entrepreneurs. And good morning, Lynn. How are you? So glad that you're on this morning. Today we are going to talk about, go ahead, TerryAnn, let us know.
It's proceeding on to the pathways. We talked the past couple of weeks about changing our perspective. And when we change our perspective, what possibilities are available? Well, once we've narrowed down those possibilities, what pathways open up? So we're going to concentrate on one general area today. And that is something that Sheri and I have been working on ourselves and the pathway that it's opened up. Neither one of us like to sit in front of a camera. I don't know about you guys, but turn the camera on, I'd rather get behind it. Knowing the challenge of this, I took the lead myself, about a year back, and I said, this is it. I sat down in front of the camera, turned it on. I did a little short 2-3 minute thing, turned it off, verified that the audio was good, and I posted it on YouTube. All right, I've done it once, I can do it again. So Sheri and I have both taken this, and she did something very similar. So we've taken this now and thought, okay, we can sit in front of the camera, and that opens up the possibilities of speaking to more people than just within our personal circle. So what pathways are now open by doing that?
Well, we are using a lot of different technology right now. And one of the technologies that we are using is called StreamYard. And StreamYard will not let us know who is chatting to us unless they do what, TerryAnn? Because we have a new visitor, and
we have a visitor, yes.
And we have a Facebook user, and we don't know who they are. So we forgot to go over the details.
Yes, let's go over
how we do that.
Well, here's what it is. StreamYard and Facebook, they're kind of biting a little bit at each other.
They don't play well together?
They don't always play well together. And you see,
wow.
Facebook says you can come in, but you don't have permission to see my people unless. So if we do not see your name, that is because you have not given permission for StreamYard to see your name. If you would like your name to show up to us on the contacts, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook.
Could you put that in the chat so that they'll know exactly where they need to go?
I can do that.
See, we're opening up all kinds of possibilities with going live on Facebook, like learning new technology. There you go. Because whoever the Facebook user, I'd love to say good morning, but I'm not sure who you are. So we like to use names, and I'm sure you probably want us to know who you are. But yeah, some of the possibilities in this pandemic has been that a lot of us that are scared of the camera have had to go on the camera and try to talk about, well, we're talking about things that other people are struggling with as well. But some of the possibilities that can obtain, right?
That's right.
So I remember back in October, I tell everybody this story. I knew I needed to go live. So I started KC Inspired Coffee with Sheri. A lot of people are, Texas is in the house, but they won't tell us who they are. I have some relatives in Texas. Maybe they're relatives. I don't know. We get to play the guessing game.
Well, welcome, Texas.
Texans. I got some of those Texans in my family. Well, actually, they're my in-laws. So there you go. That explains it. But anyway, where's I going with this? Oh, so back in October, I started Kansas City Inspired Coffee with Sheri, and I went out there and started giving people business tips and different tips. One tip a day. I probably need to go back and do that. Yeah. But I remember one of my friends go, man, you have so much confidence. You're doing it at 8 a.m. with your jammies on. I did not have pajamas on. I should be wearing it. It's a nice fuzzy, and it says gratitude. Have an attitude of gratitude in this fuzzy pink. Oh my gosh, it is a big, bright, fuzzy pink, warm sweatshirt. And it was in November or December when it's cold. Perfect thing to wear. Ex-in-law, LOL. It must be my sister-in-law, Debbie, who is not an ex because she's still my sister-in-law. But she won't tell us who it is. So anyway.
So you stepped out, you said, I've got to do this. And you apparently came across very confident.
Well, isn't that funny, right? You're out there trying to overcome your confidence, and others say, oh, you're confident. So when actually that person, which we were just becoming friends, right? Because we've only been friends we've known each other, but we became friends, the last couple of years. Is that right? I don't know how to say it, TerryAnn.
Yeah,
I never know.
Yeah.
I love it when people go, when did we become friends? When did we meet? I sometimes don't. I don't know. Life is a journey, and you never know who you're going to meet.
Right.
And what possibilities that will also bring in your life, right? So I just feel like life is a journey, and along the journey, you can meet different people along the way that will make a big impact on your life, like you, right? So, but yeah. So sometimes just jumping out of the plane. I think I told you that too. I joined Toastmasters, 14 years ago? And anybody that knows me knows I am Mrs. Extrovert. I, as my husband says, collect people and friends. I love people because they're all different, like snowflakes. And those Texas people wouldn't get this, but whatever. But they're, and I say because I'm from Alaska, but really that's why I love people. But over time, I've learned also that there's mean people in the world.
Sure.
I know, but I didn't know that. I thought everybody was like me, had a heart of gold, and would look out for everybody else. And we could all just play in each other's sandboxes nicely. And that's not how life works. So then you have to change your perspective of that a little bit more. Over the years. It's too funny. My husband, no, he really is my husband. I'm just joking. But no, my husband has told me, Sheri, not everybody is your friends. There's acquaintances, associates, and business people, right? And I'm like, really?
Not
Everybody come party and let's have fun. But that's not how life works.
Right.
And so when you change those possibilities, even that perspective, even what I'm talking about right now, the possibilities change because then you learn, I don't know, you know what I mean? This is a business person. This is because you know me, TerryAnn, I can pretty much be an open book and everybody can be my friend. That doesn't work very well at times.
Right.
Sometimes it does. And you don't want to change your personality, but maybe the way you, right? Your possibilities and way you change. So because I was like that back 14, 15 years ago when I joined Toastmasters, everybody just assumed I could get up in front of the church, belong to the same church, 17 years, tell everybody that we're having an auction or whatever. I had a bunch of kids that went to this church, and because, I got 4 kids and they forever. So people be like, Sheri, get up and tell everybody. No, I don't get up and tell nobody nothing. Not what I do. And they're like, no, you do. And because I got smart aleck, people thought I was joking. Where if we sat at a table, I could talk.
Right.
Put me up there on the stage or in front of God and everybody. By the way, we're in front of God and everybody right now. I just thought I'd let you know. But anyway, I couldn't talk. So I joined Toastmasters. So similar to what you said, TerryAnn, I started giving a speech every single month. And people are like, oh my gosh, you love speaking. And I'm like, no, I hate speaking. I'm scared of speaking. So I know if I jump out of the plane, give a speech every 4. Same thing I was doing back in October with Kansas City Inspired Coffee with Sheri. Yeah, be shocked. I can give you business tips. I can give you whatever tips. But I didn't like being on camera, right? Because look at my hair. Is it perfect? Is my makeup perfect? Oh, and I got to wear these silly glasses when I'm on camera. Because really, I don't feel like I can see you. So, and I don't really wear glasses in real life. I know. You're like, what? Because these are only for reading. But when I'm on a camera like this, I can't read or see without my glasses on. So then you're worried about, oh, I don't like me in glasses. Oh, I don't like me because my hair looks this way. Oh, I don't like me. Really? When did it become about you? It should be about your message and how you can make a difference to help others.
So what
So
you
when
did,
I changed the perspective and started saying it's not about me, it's about the message that maybe other people need to hear, that got me on here, if that makes any sense. So other people, because, and then it changes your possibilities, right? Because
so
now what are we talking about? A lot of different things, right?
you found what you did, what made you nervous. You knew you had a message. You knew the possibility, the biggest possibility was to use the camera. So you stepped out and said, okay, I'm going to get out there. That's what Facebook's for. That's what YouTube is for. Now, I had no trouble getting onto YouTube. I didn't want to get onto Facebook.
And so, see, what is the difference in that? Explain that to me.
The difference was
your mindset.
Part of it was mindset. Yeah, a lot of it was mindset. I chose one over the other. With YouTube, I felt like I was in control because I was recording. And even though I wasn't editing, I got control of my putting it up there. I had control over what the thumbnail slide was. When you do a Facebook Live, I've watched so many people on Facebook Live. And what is the thumbnail that Facebook always uses? That one where you are just really, your face is all out of shape, your mouth is open and everything.
But that's not the one That's not the one we're supposed to use.
But see, Facebook chooses what that screen, that opening shot screen is, no matter what. So for me, that scared me for a long time. But this friend of mine named Sheri Berger came along and said, hey, let's do this. So all of a sudden, this pathway is now opened up for me. And now I'm using Facebook. Wait a minute, hold it. So now as I'm proceeding down the path, okay, I've got in front of the camera and I'm walking down the road. Now I've gotten in front of YouTube, walking down the road. Now I've gotten in front of Facebook. What else is down this path for me? And where can this take me? Well, first of all, it's given me some confidence. I can do this. And you know what? I've seen some of the Facebook images that are put up there about our little things. And it's always an awkward picture, but I've gotten to where I don't care anymore. I've also gotten to the point to where I want to be perfect sitting in front of this camera. You know what? If I'm sitting in front of you, if we're sitting at a table drinking our coffee like this, I'm not going to be concerned. Wait a minute, is my makeup just right? How's my lipstick look? So why am I doing this on the camera? Once I change that, then I could continue to move on further down. So if I've gotten into YouTube and Facebook, where else can this take me? I don't know.
And why, Terry, let's just really get back to the why we're really on here, right? So we have this conversations with Sheri. I don't know why it's Sheri first, but whatever. With Sheri and TerryAnn, because that's how TerryAnn set it up. But anyway, because TerryAnn is a life coach, I'm a business coach, and we wanted to come out and give tips to other people to make an impact to help more people. So the whole reason why I knew I needed to go online back in October is because I'm a coach. So I help a lot of people, but to make a bigger impact and help more people, I needed to be doing more of my training, which I do a lot of that, right? I got masterminds online now. I do training online. Because how can you help more people? And so when you could get over the fact that it's not about you, it's about the message and how you can make a bigger impact, right?
Right.
Then it's going to make a big difference on what you do. And you know what? I didn't like you saying some of those pictures look funky. Just speak for yourself. We know all mine look good. No,
yours did look good. Yes, yours did look good. It was mine that I didn't like.
I'm doing that a lot too, TerryAnn. I'm sorry, but I don't. But it's not about, right? And then my YouTube channel, I am actually I have a meeting with my YouTube guy, a guy that helped me set it up, because that's true. You can pick different thumbnails.
Yes.
And so why wouldn't want to make my thumbnails on my YouTube channel look a little better?
Now, see, I post all of these up to YouTube afterward.
No. Can
And
we bring breakfast to Texas? Is what these
oh
Texas.
yeah, we'll be right down. Don't worry about it.
You
Leave the
should have
front door
brought
open.
us breakfast because we're working hard on trying to talk about the possibilities that will open when you get over. What was it? We first started off with
Perspective.
perspective, because this is what you teach. I mean, not that I don't teach it, but you have these 4 P's.
Just I call them 4 different things and you call them. That's all.
Perspective. When we change our perspective,
then we see that there are new possibilities out there that we didn't notice.
This is about the pathways.
And from the possibilities that have opened, then now from the possibilities, what pathways are now open? The possibility of camera has now led us to the path of making an online presence. And that's why I wanted to make an online presence, especially during a pandemic. How am I going to let people know that I have a message? I had my first official invited to speaking opportunity on March 7th. By March 14th, we were shut down. And I had several people at that event say, hey, I liked your message. Could you bring that to my group?
But we are right now, we're doing it on Zoom and different things like that. So if people that are out in the audience, if they could give us a little bit of, if they change their perspective, what the possibilities and what pathways, opens for them. Because I think we gave some analogies of us, but I'd like to know what our audience or people, think.
Sure, definitely.
Comment regarding that we would really appreciate that. Because it's supposed to be interactive, right? And we want to see.
We want interaction, yes.
Yeah. And we want to see, as you change your perspective, how your possibilities can open, right? Because you've wrote how many books too, TerryAnn?
I did 2 devotionals using the knit and crochet terms and technology and stories, intertwine them with scripture.
Yeah, and so I'm saying that opened up possibilities too, right?
And that came about from pain. That was a possibility that came out from extreme pain and my journaling.
What are we doing, Doc?
I changed my perspective of this pain is just devastating to, wait a minute, this pain I can use this pain to grow. I journaled. I noticed in my journal entries, I've almost got a story here. And from the journal entries, went into a book.
And see, it's about changing your perspective in those situations, right?
Yes.
So I know I started writing my book in February, and my book, I know my book, I have to get it out by March. It's coming all together.
Great.
But a lot of it is on work-life balance, right? And that's what my whole book is about, and it's what I'm out teaching in the community and what I'm teaching on my mastermind groups. And I'm getting people, like right now, we're in the 4th quarter, right? So we really need to be planning as business owners, entrepreneurs in general. What are our goals? Where are we going after the first of the year? So anyway, I was supposed to be on a women's business cruise as a speaker in January. Needless to say, we're not going to be cruising in January. But we're going to start a summit, right? I think you and I are in the process of putting one together February, March. So that's around the time I'm trying to make sure my book gets launched. But having deadlines and realizing that you have a message and changing your perspective, what are those possibilities, right? So I'm writing, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you're writing a book. I want your book. And really the book that I'm writing is for my clients. And it's a lot of the stuff I'm teaching. But it's just putting it in another, of course, I'll probably get it in audio as well, but it's putting it in a different format so that you can get more possibilities of getting your message out there to make a bigger impact. Yeah. Because my mission in life is to make a difference in others. So I love what I do because I make such an impact in other people's life through business and life and their finances. But if you can find different ways to do that. So whatever your calling is, mission is, if you can find different ways to do that, right?
Right.
My son, for instance, my oldest son happens to be a pastor. He's married to a pastor, and they've had to do sermons online. And it's been interesting. And sometimes in the back of a pickup truck, and sometimes in parking lots. And sometimes, but it didn't really matter what they do. It matters what their message is, right?
Mhm.
And so I've used that as a possibility I share it on Sundays. You'll find a sermon, and some people are like, "You're always sharing this sermon on Sundays." Like, well, I'll tell you, it's my kid. So, what does every mom do? No. Anyway, and so you just don't know the possibilities in that either, right? And so it's just changing.
And look
I
what
think with this pandemic, how many months are we in?
I know we're 6 months now. Can you believe it? We've been 6 months into this.
Isn't it longer than 6? March.
But like for example, you mentioned your son's church.
8 months, like 8 months, something stupid like
I'm
that.
not looking at it that way.
Okay, but it's not even looking at it that way.
Is different.
We need to change our perspective to
Yes.
find our possibilities, to see what pathways are opening, because this
Yes.
is a new way, right?
Look
A
at
new
the
way
pathway that this has opened for many churches. Look at the path this has opened for people who say, I'm never going to go to that church, or I'm never. There are people watching because now they can watch without really anybody knowing they're watching, and that's okay. But now they're hearing a message that they would not have walked into a building to listen to.
Well, and I will be honest, watching TV on your couch is pretty cool. Come on.
It is, isn't it?
Got my coffee. I got my big coffee now. I told you I was trying to be nice and use this. It's the little things in life, because it's such a cute little coffee cup.
Sure.
It's little. And, fallback's always Mickey Mouse. I know.
Yeah, I have 2 going today. This one says, I am good soil. That's a reminder to myself that, yes, I am good soil. There are seeds being planted. And then the other one I just created for myself is tea in one hand and confidence in the other.
Yeah, because you liked my coffee in one hand and confidence.
I did, but this is London Fog tea.
Coffee cup.
This is my London Fog tea. It is good.
So what kind of possibilities and pathways did that end? Yeah.
So okay, now where are we? What was the question?
We just need to look at, I think people need to be focusing on, not that we're in a pandemic, but what is the perspective, and the possibilities, and what pathways have opened. Because even when we get out of the virus or pandemic or whatever we're in, things are going to change. And so things like doing video online is so important.
Yes.
Right? Especially if you're trying to grow your business and you're taking it to the next level. Maybe you want to move it from here to there. Just name of my business. I threw it in there. But no, if you want to move things, right, and you want to grow and change your perspective, then we need to change our perspective on technology and things like that. So I think my challenge for our audience and for people in general is to change your perspective in some area. Look at what the possibilities could be, right? And then what the pathways are going to open. And then what you say, proceed, right?
And proceed. Find that pathway and take that step.
And like I'm 15 years out, 14 years. I don't even know how long I belong to Toastmaster. I stay in to, of course, still improving my public speaking. But Toastmasters, I mean, that's what our little Toastmaster spiel is. It becomes a family, and you make great friends like you and other people. And also, there's a lot of leadership, and they've actually changed their program, haven't they? Sure. So there's new pathways to learn new stuff. But you also get to mentor and help others. And I always say you join Toastmasters for what's in it for you, and you stay in Toastmaster for what's in it for others.
I like that.
So, yeah. And so you help others find their voice, other people be leaders. And I do that in my business, of course, as a business coach. But I also do that in Toastmasters. And, it's just a good nonprofit, good organization. So if you are afraid of public speaking, and guess what? Right now in Toastmasters, we've been practicing a lot on camera, because the only way we can give speeches is on camera. And oh my God, were some of those crappy speeches? Had their camera messed up there, and we're still trying to figure it out, right?
Even so, we've also learned, though, it's not going to be perfect, and it's okay.
Really?
Yes.
TerryAnn,
if the camera messes up, it's okay.
TerryAnn, can I be perfectly imperfect? Because that's all I can be.
I love it. I love it. I love the phrase.
I had a friend that wore that sweatshirt the other day, and remember you stole the cup. I was like, I want to be perfectly imperfect.
That's a graphic in and of itself. I've got to work on that graphic.
Yeah, I want that. I'm perfectly imperfect because that's all I can be.
Yes.
And people want to work with people that they like, know, and trust. So if you aren't authentic, you aren't real, and you aren't who you are, which I don't know how to be. Anybody that knows me knows this. I don't know how to be anything but that way. But anyway, my point is, right? Because we'll walk around as women and think we got to be perfect in our business. We got to be a perfect wife. Well, I am a perfect wife. Just don't talk to me. But anyway, you try to be a perfect wife. You try to be a perfect mom, right? I mean, I got a great husband. I got 4 amazing kids. But how much did I play into that? Well, I mean, I tried to be a good wife and mom, but I'm definitely not perfect. Sure. Now, do I unconditionally love them and all the other things? Of course. But that, and of course, I'm sure that helps. But I'm saying you still screw up in whatever area of your life. Same with, sure. I tell people I help you with budgets and finances. And people are like, well, it's not always going to work. Nope. But without a plan of some sort, it's definitely not going to work. And we found that out a lot as business owners this last year. How much did we have to pivot and change? And my word for the year was intentionality, but my word was not. It should have been, what is it called? Adaptability. Everybody should have that word for this year. So now we're in the 4th quarter. I'm asking people to plan, to get ready, to get your business stuff put together, your budgets, your business plans, your, do your business checklist, all that stuff. And people are like, 2020 didn't work out. Nope. And 2021, probably halfway through for sure, is not going to work out. But if we don't have a plan and a guideline, then we don't know where to pivot and where to change. So in our lives, yes, we should have a plan, but we also should be adaptable. Yes. And so I think we've really, and with adaptability is possibilities. Like, how did we end up on here? I think you and I were having coffee over Zoom and went, oh, if we're going to talk about this stuff, I bet you other people need to hear it. So we should get on here and talk about it. So, and we were talking about things like, I think next week, are we talking about leadership?
Let's talk about leadership next week.
I thought we were. Next week, we're talking about leadership. Closer to the holidays, we're going to be talking about holiday stress. When we talk about things that actually apply to what all of us are dealing with today. Mm-hmm. Because I think we really need to. And we really like it if you would inbox us with questions. Yes. You have our email, or you can comment here and we will go back and read them, even if you're reading this replay. And if you watch this as a replay, if you could let us know that'd be great. And TerryAnn and I are here to help others find ways to come up with better possibilities in their life, in their business.
Who are we? I'm trying to find out who we are. We
are. I am Sheri Berger, and I've actually been Sheri Berger more of my life than I've been Sheri Hemingway. But I also could be Sheri Hemingway. I'm just saying.
I was just going to pop in our email address. We would love to hear from you.
Is that funny, though? Once you've been married too long, man, it becomes you've been married longer than you've not been married to this person. What the heck?
All right. Make sure I've spelled my name right. Send us an email. Pop a comment in there. If there's a topic you would like to hear, we'll talk about leadership and leadership styles next week. We're going to be talking about handling stress through the holidays. And the day before Thanksgiving, we're just going to chit chat a little bit about some of our family traditions, how things have changed this year, and what we're doing to maintain the positivity of the holidays and the negativity of the world. And as we reach the top of the hour, I am TerryAnn, Life Coach TA.
And I am Sheri Berger with Here to There Consulting. You guys make it a blessed day.
See you next week. Thanks for joining.